1 week ago, the Moscow community lost 4 bright lights. University of Idaho students Ethan Chapin, Madison Mogan, Xana Kernodle, and Kaylee Goncalves were murdered in a home just off campus. With so many questions lingering, the college town is still on edge with no suspect in custody. The Moscow Police Department held its second news conference about the investigation earlier today. Abby listened in on that. And Abby, they didn't give a whole bunch of new information, but they did clarify some things today.
That's right, Doug. Well, we did learn that some friends, in addition to the 2 surviving roommates, were actually at the house at the time of the 911 call, so when that was made, but they didn't specify who exactly did make that call. Now, so far, police have received more than 640 tips and interviewed more than 90 people. The Moscow police chief says this is a complex and terrible crime that will take, quote, some time to resolve. Answers to who killed Ethan Chapin, Xana Kernodle, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Goncalves, and why.
We want answers too.
1 week ago, the 4 University of Idaho students were stabbed to death in an off-campus house on King Road. The Moscow Police Department held its second news conference about the murders Sunday afternoon.
It's been very hard for members of the community, and it's been equally difficult for our officers and for the investigators.
Those officers and investigators are still trying to piece together what happened. On Saturday, November 12th, Ethan and Xana went to a Sigma Chi fraternity party from 8 to 9 p.m. The other victims, Kaylee and Madison, were at the Corner Club on Main Street. It's about 1.5 miles away from the home on King Road. Police say they were there from 10 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. After leaving the bar, the girls went to the Grub Truck, just down Main Street from the Corner Club. They were seen in a video from the food truck around 1:40 Sunday morning before using a, quote, private party for a ride home. Captain Roger Lanier says all 4 victims were back at the King Road house by 1:45 a.m.
At 11:58 a.m., a 911 call was placed to the Whitcomb Dispatch Center reporting an unconscious person.
When police arrived, they found the 4 students dead, 2 on the 2nd floor of the house and 2 on the 3rd floor.
Some of the victims had defensive wounds, and each victim was stabbed multiple times. There was no sign of sexual assault.
Lanier confirmed 2 other roommates were home at the time of the attack. Police also say the roommates called some friends over later that morning because they believed one of the 2nd floor victims had passed out and was not waking up. The 911 call was made from the phone of one of the surviving roommates, and multiple people talked with the dispatcher. At this time, police say they have no suspect in custody. Captain Lanier cleared up some rumors during Sunday's news conference.
We do not believe the following individuals are involved in this crime. The 2 surviving roommates, a male seen at the Grub Truck food vendor downtown, specifically wearing a white hoodie, a private party who provided rides home to Kaylee and Madison.
Police also don't believe any of the friends who were at the house during the 911 call are responsible. Lanier says investigators are aware of multiple phone calls from Madison and Kaylee to a, quote, male subject, which they are still investigating. Bringing someone to justice is their top priority.
Nothing we can do will bring back these young lives. But we have an absolute commitment to working together to solve these senseless murders.
They're still asking people to stay vigilant and be careful, and police are also hoping that anybody who knows anything calls their tip line. That's 208-883-7180, 208-883-7180. And there's also an email tip line. That information is on our website as well. But we know, Doug, University of Idaho President Scott Green also spoke today during the press conference. He was saying right now they're just trying to figure out ways for students to feel comfortable coming back after break, that some students stay home actually.
And they're trying to figure out ways to accommodate students who choose not to come back to campus.
That's right. They didn't give any specifics, but they did say they might employ some of those COVID-19 learning tactics, which we would assume would mean remote learning.
Yeah, and he also really emphasized the fact that security is the top priority for the students and the things that they've set up, as well as counseling, like the escort service that they have to walk people to and from places.
Yes, they have a 24/7 safe walks, and they also have free counseling that students can use.
All right, Abby, thank you very much.